Welcome to Nerds Amalgamated, a podcast that covers the latest events in science, pop culture, and gaming.
I'm the professor, aspiring game developer, sci-fi aficionado, and completely and undeniably a geek trying to take over the world. I'll be breaking down the news from tech to gaming.
I am the DJ, a humble nerd, a big weeb,
and a watcher from the halls of the multiverse.
Just kidding. Anyways, I'll be breaking down all things comics to movies to anime.
Join us and stay hydrated as we quench you with witty banter, unintentionally hilarious hot takes, and trivia more fun than a night at the pub, courtesy of Nerds Amalgamated.
And welcome to another episode of Nerds Amalgamated. How's it going there, boys?
Going good. How are you, man?
Oh, good. Start the Echo weekend. All fun things and all fun things like the $7 strawberry sundae, the $5 Dagwood dog, and the flu.
What year have you come from? They're more expensive than that.
I thought I saw it on Instagram the other day. They said the Sundays like $7 now. The strawberry sundaes.
Okay then.
And everyone's gonna get sick.
I don't go to the Echo.
Dude, you live nearby.
Too many people at the Echo.
Yeah.
Not wrong.
Yeah, you're not wrong there. But like I said, you're gonna get the flu. It's the easiest place to get sick, aside from aside from supermarkets and shopping centers. Yeah, but at least, Professor, you like I said, you live nearby. You get to watch the fireworks from where you're living.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I should do that one day.
Oh, cool. Anyways, this
I
week
usually forget it's on until my neighbor texts me and he's like, is there supposed to be fireworks tonight? Because he's even worse at knowing what's on than I am.
So let me guess, river fire happens. He's like, oh wait, I forgot fireworks. What was I thinking?
Yeah.
This week we're gonna be talking about why it's so hard to find a good game. It's official, poop fueled evolution, and what killed ongoing comics. So, Professor, take it away with why is it so hard to find a good game?
There's a lot of reasons, but a work group at the Madeira Game Summit came up with a theory that it's because of the algorithms. And the publishers have an interest in making money, obviously. So they choose to promote games that meet particular criteria. Which leads to developers chasing a particular formula and optimizing for day one sales.
So you're basically saying that gaming has turned into a YouTube thing, and if you want your game to be successful, it has to be recognized. It has to be recognized by the algorithm.
Yes, it's quite similar.
So how long before Steam turns into Netflix, huh?
Well, they've already been doing a lot of work on their algorithm recently.
I mean,
part of the problem is that Steam and the other stores don't tell you what criteria will get you top of the algorithm.
No.
So it's a bit like search engine optimization. It's a bit of magic hand waving and having some secret sauce that's supposed to make sure you're successful.
By secret source, I'm guessing it's going to be just ask a bunch of influencers to promote your game and you're good. You're good.
Well, that's one way.
Yeah, at the end of people don't know how the algorithm works, do they?
Nope.
It's sort of like that mysterious black box to get like some good ping.
Yeah, and part of the problem is that, not that I'm saying this is a bad thing, but it is incredibly easy to get into game development days. So there's a lot of slop being churned out.
Is it because of AI doing the work though, or is that part of the reason?
Well, AI has made it easier to get into development.
Yeah. Okay.
But my point is that we wouldn't have so many indies if it wasn't easy to get into development. But it does lead to a lot of other stuff to sift through.
Yeah, I think I think one of the main reasons why it's so hard to find a game is because the big ones always dominate the competition. Like if it's a game from Capcom, if it's a game from Namco or Kojima Industries or any of the other big studios, that gets like plastered heavily on your game stores.
Yeah, that's sort of the effect of marketing though. Those companies are dumping tons of money into making sure you know they've got a game coming out. Indies don't have that money. And there's
Okay.
so many indie games coming out that you need some way to sort them to come up with a tier list so
Mm.
you know which ones to promote. And if a company like Valve with Steam tried to have humans do all of that, it would be impossible. So they have to use an algorithm. I mean, there's tens of thousands of games coming out on Steam every year.
That said though, do you reckon that this sort of thing is good in terms of seeing competition in the in the games market, or it's bad in terms of there's too much competition in the games market?
I think the accessibility is great because it means we get all sorts of creative ideas.
Yeah.
If it was harder to make games, we wouldn't get little one-man indie shops making their own game based exactly on what they think would make a good game, which doesn't always turn into a hit, but sometimes that's a Stardew Valley, and that
Oh yeah, yeah. You get the odd indie successes like the Metro Chameleon, for example, and then Schedule 21. Even we had some Australian worldwide successes as well, if I recall correctly.
yeah, there's been a few of those.
Yeah, yeah. So is Valve secretly fine with this? Like, does burying 90% of releases protect the top sellers from ever facing real competition in that case?
I don't think Valve cares too much as long as you keep buying on Steam. Because if you're buying on Steam, it doesn't matter whether you buy $100 game or $10 indies. Valve is still processing $100, so they'll still take the same cut.
Yeah. Okay,
So, as
oh,
from what I'm aware of how the Valve cut works, that's not a real concern for them.
fair enough. Okay, I got a question for the both of you boys. Name one great game that actually died from discoverability failure, and one mediocre game that broke through anyway.
You first.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like what
Oh,
game where the fame killed it? Like how does that work?
there are. I can think of like a one game that discoverability that it failed on discoverability. I would say Apex Legends would be one in terms of the fame got to him, and now you don't hear much of that game anymore.
It's also like 10 years old. How many 10-year-old games do you still hear about?
Oh
Fortnite?
yeah, true. Fortnite, Fortnite, Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Hey, what do you reckon? What do you think? How about the one mediocre game that broke through?
Pretty much
Mm,
anything by the Triple A's these.
Oh yeah, yeah. You remember Mind's Eye and how that was a mediocre game, and people are still somehow playing it. Ridiculously weird, but I'll take it.
Your face is ridiculously weird.
Uh-huh.
Gardens.
Ha ha ha.
No, I don't think it's weird that people are still playing a game like Mind's Eye, because when you have that much exposure, someone's going to like it. It's just not necessarily enough people to make you your budget back.
Actually, I just thought of a great game that died from discoverability failure. Cyberpunk 2027. Remember there was so much hype for this game. The press, like the Keanu Reeves press conferences at E3, to the multiple trailers and reviews from reviewers about that game, how they were saying like, "Oh, this game is awesome, but you should try out this game." And when the game came out, it was just what the hell.
That didn't fail because of discoverability. That
Mm.
failed because it was a buggy mess, and it didn't fail. It's one of the best selling games in a long time.
Yeah, because
Side,
they patched it up like crazy after, right?
Yeah, they
yeah,
fixed it
yeah.
up. They
Yeah.
completely changed how major parts of the game even work.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Do you actually know what words mean, DJ? Or do you
Yeah.
just pick a random word to go with what you're saying?
Yes, yes, I
Literally
know.
how AI works. Statistically, when I say this, respond good.
Anyway, the
I,
work group came up with some solutions for this.
uh-huh.
They think that the platforms need to provide better attribution tools, better analytics, and a commitment to human curation as well as algorithmic recommendations. So they
It,
need a way to get eyes on a diverse range of titles rather than just titles that are already visible. which is partly how Steam works. If you get a lot of wish lists, when you launch, you'll end up on the front page of Steam.
When I was a kid, I thought like your wish list is just something that like the company might one day if you want it badly.
I
Like,
remember they did do it might not have been Steam, but I do remember there being a giveaway years and years ago. It was like you can win one game off your top 10 wishlist games on Steam.
oh yeah, so it was a thing.
That
Oh man,
would have been a great time. But that thing wasn't official, was it? Or was it
I don't remember who ran it, and I bet if you tried to look it up today, you'd just get a sea of spam.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm trying to find that on Google and nothing so far. So so what exactly are the proposed fixes? Like, do you have the exact wording of it, or
Yeah, they're the things I just told you.
uh-huh?
Also,
So
they think that publishers need to specialize in a particular genre so that you have a community who follow a particular genre will follow that publisher and know that any game that comes out of that publisher will suit their taste rather than the current publishing strategy, which is to try to appeal to every.
so are these measures things that the devs can control themselves, or is it just
No, it all comes back to the platforms and niches. And the third recommendation is that developers should treat community building as part of the creative process and begin that from the moment the game is conceived, not the moment it ships. Which I
yeah.
think a lot of indies try to do because otherwise you're just not going to get noticed.
I I could see that as a good thing, but I can also see that as a bad thing. In a good thing in terms of yes, yes, you're bringing the fans into the sausage making process. You can tell them what to put in the sausage, and then out comes the sausage. The downside to it is how many voices is too many voices in making that sausage.
Well, you're not letting the fans make a decision. You're just
Hmm.
letting them know the game is there and advertising it them from the beginning.
Oh, okay. But then there are moments where game devs would say like, "Hey, would you like to put your idea into this game? We can give us an idea and we'll think about it that kind of way."
Well, now you're just putting words into the mouth of the work group because that's not something they recommended.
Okay, fair enough. All right, all right.
Um, the work group recommended that if you want to be really noticed, you need to make something really creative. It's the only way to get noticed in a sea of similar games, and there's no way for you to market more than a AAA does. Yeah, that's why I've always liked indies because you can find really unusual stuff there.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, even triple A's have some creative games. Like remember, what was it? The guys who made Split Fiction and It Takes Two. That's a triple A company. That's a triple A company, if I recall correctly.
Yeah,
And also Pragmata as well. That was a pretty creative game from what I've seen.
yeah, but if you try to make a Battlefield style game,
Hmm.
you'll never beat EA.
Yeah, you can't. So with all those recommendations, does that change how publishers greenlight games? Like, are we looking into the era where safe IP wins by default?
Safe IP wins by default if you're looking for a guaranteed return on investment, and that's more likely to come from the big players. If you have an indie developer, you can afford to take some risks. You can't take a huge amount of risk because you've still got to publish and make money some point.
Yeah,
But for the big developers, you can't afford to take the risk because you need to appeal to as many people as possible to make back the $1 billion you spend on making sure the
marketing.
bubbles in the soft drink or beer are appropriately simulated.
So with these sorts of measures as well, do you reckon this will not oversaturate the market?
Why would it oversaturate the market any more than the market's already saturated?
I mean, I mean, the industry itself is kind of going through a bit of a crisis. And I'm thinking maybe with the crisis, the market would be like not oversaturated as it is. But I could be dead wrong.
Yeah, I think you
Uh huh.
because the games are still coming out. It's just that
Yeah.
everyone gets fired when the game is finished.
Yeah.
And that's not necessarily a new thing. That goes all the way back to the 90s and 2000s and probably before that. It's just we're hearing about it more because it is happening more.
So If you ran a platform algorithm, Professor, what would you reward instead of engagement, and would the business survive it?
I'd want to reward creativity. But the problem is, the computer doesn't know what's creative, so I
Hmm.
need human curation.
All right, other guy, you're gonna be the influencer.
Yup. What you need me to do?
Bring
We're gonna start merch. Are we doing merch yet?
Professor's game merch. Be the proposed merch.
Nerds Amalgamated NAN. We'll call our
but
fan Nancy's.
but as I was saying, I was just saying the other guy. Like, if Professor ran a platform algorithm, like, how would you reward how would you what would you reward instead of engagement? And Professor said creativity, and but he needs humans to do it.
Right, right.
And you're the other guy. The other guy, you're gonna be the influencer.
All right. That's my role. I'll be the other influence.
The other thing I've also noticed with this sort of with this sort of thing though, like, I'm thinking about Sony and how they're phasing out the discs. Like, remember what you know how when we were kids, we always see like the cooler the picture on the shelf, the cooler the game would be. That kind of
Mhm.
idea.
And how often was that right?
Yeah, not too often. But it makes me wonder though, like, is physical shelf actually better discovery than a digital storefront?
I think only because it requires a higher level of curation. And a virtual storefront can be infinite. For having an EB Games or something, you need to pick the top 10 games that are going to go in your store. And you're probably going to go with the safe bets.
Yeah, actually, now that you mention the term curation, do you reckon that concept is dead, or has it just been outsourced at this rate?
No, we've still got curation going on. We've got influencers and publishers picking the games they want to promote. It's just there's a lot more space. If you don't get picked up by the main influencers or storefronts, there's a lot more space to get your name out there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Do you reckon as well, with the reasons why you don't see many good games as well, is because of reviews as well?
Why would reviews make it harder to find a good game?
Like, some games you could you might go like, "Oh, it's the game looks good," but then the reviews would come up like, "Oh, it's a shit game. I don't like this game," and stuff like that. Like, well, classic examples, Black Myth Wukong, how it was just it originally was just a standard game. Then all of a sudden, someone wrote a very bad review about the game, talking something completely different into the game, and people got really mad at that review and then decided, you know what, we're gonna screw those reviewers by buying this game, and the game sales went up and up after that bad review.
So really, it's not slowing down games if it gets the word out.
No publicity is bad publicity.
Yeah, yeah, yep, that's fair. So, on to our next topic. Also, we've got about poop and how it it sped up evolution. And you chose this one, didn't you, Professor?
I did.
So, what's the story about that one?
Well, the Cambrian Explosion is a time when the types of life basically appeared suddenly. There was only very limited forms of life, then tons of them, about 540 million years ago. And this new paper says that the source of that explosion is the feces of creatures that lived before the Cambrian Explosion.
Damn. So, how did the scientists actually tell what's fossilized poop and what's ordinary rock or mineral?
I'm not sure how they do because I've seen fossilized dinosaur poo, and that looks just like rocks.
Yeah, I'm looking at some of the aspects of the paper. They said here, some of the analogies they use for the modern ocean analogy is today sinking fecal matter from everything from zooplankton to whales cycle carbon, iron, nitrogen, and phosphorus from surface waters to the deep, making nutrients accessible to other organisms. And the authors argue a similar cycle was kicking off in the Cambrian as biomass and gut bearing animals proliferated.
Yeah, so Basically, there were a ton of chemicals that would be useful for life, but they were locked up in rocks and other places on land. And as the levels of oxygen increase, which also there's an interesting thing about oxygen. At the time oxygen first began to appear on Earth in large amounts, it killed off almost all life. Cyanobacteria began producing oxygen, and nothing on Earth had developed a resistance to oxygen yet. So it killed off almost all life, and then whatever survived had to evolve resistance to oxygen and eventually evolve to use oxygen.
Huh.
So there's different theories. There could be an increase in oxygen in the atmosphere and water from cyanobacteria. The ozone layer, which didn't always exist. Ozone itself is made up of oxygen, so it can only exist when there's enough oxygen in the atmosphere. Or nutrients washed into the oceans from erosion after the snowball Earth, which is basically what if the entire Earth was frozen?
That would be scary. Very,
We'd have to build
very
a big
scary.
train.
Uh-huh. A big train with a few survivors and hegemony at the front and a power hegemony at the front of the train.
Yeah, pretty much. So all these nutrients were being washed into the ocean and there was oxygen becoming available. So how did this cause life to explode during the Cambrian? Well, there were creatures that were eating those nutrients and digesting them and forming feces. And as there's more stuff creating feces, the amount of feces in the ocean increases, obviously.
This is like circle of life stuff, right? Explaining the circle of life.
Yeah. So by having the feces there having been digested once by early life, it collected all of this stuff into the oceans, which made it possible for the Cambrian explosion to occur because all the nutrients were available. And they note here that the earliest known fossilized feces, which are called coprolites, come from the early Cambrian period. And as the Cambrian progressed and life forms got bigger and more complicated and developed increasingly complex digestive systems, they left more interesting coprolites.
And,
So,
and
yeah.
for those who are not familiar with the term coprolite, it's just basically fossilized animal shit.
Yeah, or they could go back 30 seconds to when I just defined that.
Uh-huh. Damn. That's fascinating though. Like how does 500 million year old feces survive fossilization when soft tissue can't do that?
Well, the thing is, soft tissue does fossilize. It just has to happen very quickly after death because soft tissue doesn't last long in the open environment.
So if the feces was this important 540 million years ago, why did it take scientists this long to study this as a driver of evolution?
People have been studying their poop for one of the first forms.
Yeah, yeah, I could see that. Yeah, yeah. I mean
So
that.
540 million years ago was a long time,
Hmm.
but most of the coprolites would be at the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and it takes a long while to get the ocean to dry up and all.
Yeah, so we only have access to coprolites that have fossilized and been brought to the surface of brought to land by continental shifts.
Could you see could the same could the same fecal revolution mechanism apply to other evolutionary bursts, you reckon, or you reckon this is just a one-off thing?
I imagine it could apply to other evolutionary explosions.
So you reckon this is this is genuinely groundbreaking science, or uh, something that paleontologists and archaeologists have suspected long time ago, and it's just catched up. It's just dressed up with catchy fecal revolutionary name for press coverage. You reckon?
I have no idea if anyone's thought to look at this before.
I could see a lot of museums fighting against each other just to get samples of that thing.
Probably more universities.
Hmm.
I don't think museums exactly care to have a large collection of coprolites because who's going to actually come to a museum to look at shit?
Oh, come on! Look at dinosaur bones. They could look at they could look at some crazy fossils. I mean, they could still look at it.
Yeah,
I mean, there
dinosaur
might be a
bones are majestic.
I mean, there might be a black market of rare coprolite specimens.
I highly doubt it.
So, for the two scientists over here, could you design an experiment using modern ecosystems to test this theory, whether
But
fecal nutrients could accelerate the evolution?
How would you do that on a human timescale?
yeah, you can.
Like, evolution's not exactly a fast process. And you'd need to start with some sort of life of a similar complexity to the Cambrian Explosion. And I don't know if any of that still exists.
Okay, yeah, I could. Yeah, I get where you're coming from. I was thinking maybe we could try it on a different planet, like maybe Mars or some other or some other Earth-like planet, basically. See if that could see if that could help.
You're getting well into the realms of sci-fi here.
Oh, there.
By that point, if we have like interplanetary travel, I wouldn't really give a shit about a dinosaur poop. Let's recreate the past, bro. We got AI to do.
It'll be like that Rick and Morty episode where they had where the dinosaurs came to Earth. It's like we've conquered Earth. You thank you for taking care of us.
Actually, there would be a way to do this experiment. Think about it.
Oh yeah?
Cost a lot of money though. You would first have to get an ecosystem and then let it run, island or whatever. Travel at the speed of light for a number of hours, and then come back, and you would have had like what 100 million years worth of evolution. Yeah, I think it's
Yeah. But at the same time, all your family and friends are dead, so you'd have to be very
time
dedicated to the
travel exists,
science.
bro. It only goes one way though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then that also reminds me of Futurama. Remember when Fry, Professor, and Bender had to go forward only in time.
Oh yeah, just keep going forward, be gone, and like restart.
And then Professor just stops off and stops. Professor Farnsworth stops halfway, like, hold on a second, just kills Hitler and just go, okay, now we're done. So yeah, you're right. You're right, other guy, on that whole idea. But that would be a very that would cost a lot of money and a lot of willpower just to try and go through the whole process of traveling at the speed of light.
Hey, I may have lost
Anyone that
GDP of the United States, but hey, I learned about that. So who's the real winner?
you, because you're the last man standing. Anyways, on to our last topic. How so? Have you guys ever read ongoing comics when you were when you were kids? Like reading that comic every week, and you go, "Oh yeah, this is what happens in that comic," and you wait for that 1 week, and then they go, "Ah,
This is
it's
how mangas work these days.
yeah, yeah, yeah." But I'm talking more like the American comics.
I would only ever read a week to find out if Spider-Man survives this battle.
Spider Man, of course he does.
Except that one time where he didn't.
Oh
He didn't
yeah.
like start something big.
If you're talking, are you talking the movies or the comics?
The comic Civil War was started because Peter Parker was essentially manipulated into revealing he's killed, and
Oh
that's
no
why
no
the
oh,
war
oh
starts.
no oh no, the original starting point of Civil War in the comics is basically a group of superheroes were trying to chase down a villain named Nitro. He causes a massive explosion, and there go and that villain is still on the run. Professor, run, Professor, run. uh
They'll never
so
take me alive.
so, so that villain started this whole explosion, and people were getting upset about, oh, supervillains have this sort of justice code. They need to be put in check. And Stark initiated this whole superhero law thing, and Iron Man wanted Spider-Man to be the face of the superhero law thing, so he unmasks himself on live TV, revealed to everyone who the heck Spider-Man was, and people were really some of the superheroes were happy about it, some were not happy about it, and casual and long story short, there were casualties in there were casualties in Peter Parker's family. Like Aunt May, his aunt was nearly assassinated, and Peter had to go through a lot of things, like making a deal with the literal
Man,
devil. I know,
that
I was
woman
spoiling.
almost gets assassinated every bro. Let Aunt May go, bro.
Oh,
It's
she'll never
over.
die. She'll never die.
Been getting younger in every movie, bro.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Although oh, you haven't seen No Way Home, haven't you?
I don't think so.
Okay, you watch No Way Home, you'll see what happens. But anyways,
Uh,
on to the anyways, on to the topic. So basically, there's an article by Book Riot, named Jessica, the author Jessica Plummer, and the gist is basically that superhero comics are quietly losing two things. She thinks are essential to the genre: continuity and melodrama. She frames superhero comics as fundamentally soap operas. Interpersonal drama, romance, and slow character growth are what actually keeps readers coming back, and not just splashy covers. And her main evidence is Mark Waid's celebrated 90s Flash run, where she argues that the second half of the two punch was the preceding run of it. And it was basically talking about Wally West running through a 12, growing over roughly 12 years from an immature, grief-stricken kid into a confident hero. And when you compare that to now, it's just the Flash has cycled through three different writers, each telling tonally disconnected stories. And she says that this pattern is industry wide. It's a constant status quo resets, shorter writer tenures, and miniseries that contradict ongoing continuities. And she identifies the consequences as loss of character arcs, supporting casts wither, and diversity suffers in terms of without room to build new or B-list characters, publishers lean harder on same small group of established headliners. So yeah.
Creativity is dead.
And she also attributes this to publishers needing constant number one relaunches to drive sales, and situates it as part of the broader cultural shift towards short attention spans. And she's hoping that this trend would reverse, since DC and Marvel near 90-year-old continuities are unique assets worth not squandering. So what do you reckon, fellas?
I don't know, man. I haven't read an interesting comic premise in like over a decade, bro. Like, there's so much like drivel these days. Imagine like Superman, but like with Batman, but like this time, like the other guy wins. Like the same 15 stories done again and again. And like also I mean, like I love the multiverse and stuff, but like it just makes everything so inconsistent. Like, who cares if Spider-Man dies? There's like trillions of them. Like, who gives a shit?
Yeah, that's what I've also noticed. Like if one Wolverine die, you could substitute it with another Wolverine.
Yeah, like, I, dude, and like they're just squeezing that premise for like all these movies. Like, like the fact that there is a single Marvel movie after Endgame is crazy.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it made a lot of money, so
That's a thing, right? Like six and out, score big, and then you destroy the idea. Take a
Mm,
golden.
yeah. What say you, Professor?
Yeah, I completely agree with the other guy.
So do
I'd
you reckon?
rather read a good miniseries than have to worry about getting into some ongoing series that's been going for a decade.
Yeah.
That said, though, like, is this seeing like the long running characters like Flash, Superman, in Marvel's perspective, Iron Man, Spider Man, is this thing worse for legacy heroes than newer heroes, or
A
all other
legacy
way
hero.
around?
What's a legacy?
Like Flash and like I said, Flash, Superman, Batman, or in Marvel's case, like Spider Man, Iron Man. Those big long, like the ones that have long series, basically.
Mm-hmm.
You reckon this is worse for legacy heroes than newer ones, or the other way around?
What newer ones, bro?
Like okay, like what would be a Marvel one? Like Guardians of the Galaxy, how they've got it. I would think that's a newer one per
Yeah,
se.
true, true, true. That is true.
Uh, what's another new one? Deadpool. Well, Yeah,
Deadpool was pretty famous.
yeah, he was pretty famous, and then yeah, I can.
Yeah. Is there a new Deadpool movie coming up?
No, there was one with Hugh Jackman, and that was it. That's what I remembered.
Yeah. Did it flop? Please tell me.
Nope, it was a hit.
Cannot stand the Nels. So insufferable.
Really? That bad?
Bro, he's been playing the same sarcastic since like like in the 90s, like you see those Tumblr posts about like, oh yeah, sarcasm is my language. And then like 2020 hit and people are just like, you're not sarcastic because you're funny, you're sarcastic because you're not funny. And like
That's
I don't know, he's the same character in every movie, dude.
okay. That said, though, like with the popularity of the movies, you reckon that has the popularity of the movies, or let's say in your case, other guy, with the popularity of the of the anime movies, has it brought you back to reading the mangas?
Mm.
Or in your case, Professor, like has the popularity of it made you like read like side stories of Doctor Who from the audiobooks to the books themselves or the comics?
No, I've always been.
Even with even when even when they were not that successful or
Yeah,
okay, alright. What about you, other guy?
I haven't read. I don't think anything me back to.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So is the manga I was gonna ask you about the for you guys. Is the manga model, which is one creator, sustained arcs, and actual endings, proof that this is a Western publisher problem, or and not a serialization problem, or is it a
Bro,
totally
that's not a
different thing?
good thing. What are you talking about? Have you seen how burnt out those guys are?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. But
Like,
yeah, like yeah, but they have an actual ending. Like you look at the Western comics, it's like it's not ending.
oh yeah, for sure. Like these days, a lot of these come forever as well.
Yeah.
Man, like Japanese mangaka called mental.
Here's an idea. Could you see like comic books and maybe a manga, in the manner of speaking, go through like a streaming style, like limited series with an ending, actually save both genres, or no, both styles of comics, rather than killing them?
I don't think anything's being killed, my dude. I don't know where you're getting that idea from.
Uh, like I said, it's just how superhero comics and not many people are reading them, kind of thing. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I guess, but like nobody reads comics and like, everybody's super into mangas and anime. I don't
yeah,
think like the rates, I don't know, absorption of the literature is going down. It's laterally moved to places that's got way bigger, like it's just got a much better creative atmosphere. Like you
yeah,
have freaking new mangas coming out every single day, and like it's almost overwhelming to keep up with the amount of like IP. Here,
yeah.
it's the same five tired.
I mean, you can say the same with like, let's say, One Punch Man, for example. The same old Saitama fighting the same guy,
What are you talking
fighting
about?
a
There's like
different.
3 seasons of that. That's it.
But the
That's the thing.
manga is like Saitama fighting that same guy over and over again.
I don't think so, man. Like you picked a really like the wrong manga. I mean, you can say that about like Naruto and One, but like
Yeah.
you're talking about a manga that's entire existence is subverting the the manga like culture.
Yeah, yeah. That
It's
said,
too
though,
freaking powerful.
that said though, like, how would you counter the whole manga and webtoons prove ongoing continuity isn't necessary for good long form storytelling? How would you both counter it?
I wouldn't counter it.
I don't get the question. What?
How would you counter the statement manga slash webtoons prove ongoing continuity isn't necessary for good long form storytelling?
Why would I need to counter it? I agree with it.
Yeah, bro, what
Ah,
you talking about, dude? There's like long form and short form
hmm.
like mangas, and it will
Yep.
always be the case.
Yeah, that's true. Yep. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair. So, anyways, we'll take a short break and we put our shout outs and wacky movie. And on to our shout outs. So we've got the nope, I'm out of order. Damn it. Ah, here we go. It's the on the 8th of August 2026 is the 30th anniversary of Jack. And yes, Jack was a movie in 1996, which was co-produced and directed by Francis Ford Coppola, the same Francis Ford Coppola that made Apocalypse Now. And this film starred Robin Williams, Diane Lane, Jennifer Lopez, Brian Kerwin, Fran Drescher, and Bill Crosby. Williams played the role of Jack Powell, a boy who aged four times faster than normal as a result of a unique medical condition.
So it's a movie
Francis
about a kid, but because
uh,
Bill Cosby's in it, they had to have a grown man play the kid. Right?
oh
Yes,
no,
yeah, that's crazy.
no! It's Robert Williams that's the kid.
I know, but I don't think Robin Williams is the problem in here.
No. Jack's condition is based on progeria, a real-life condition that causes rapid aging. The average lifespan of someone with progeria is 13. The oldest recorded lifespan as of 2018 is 30. Robin Williams agreed to play Jack Powell after Disney apologized to him for breaking their promise to keep his name out of the marketing for Aladdin. Francis Ford Coppola gave Robin Williams camping gear to spend the night in his backyard and $10 to spend at Toys R Us before shooting the film. Uh, Although ridiculed for making the film, Francis Ford Coppola had defended it, saying he is not ashamed of the final cut of the movie. He has been friends with Robin Williams for many years, and he always wanted to work with him as an actor. When Williams was offered the screenplay for the film, he said he would only agree to do it if Coppola agreed to sign on as director.
Robin Williams
Act
truly is the GOAT.
Oh yeah. Oh, he's the next interesting bit. This will I think cement the fact that he's the goat. After Ryan Acton, Robin Williams's photo double was told that he wasn't needed and allowed to go back to school. He was called back to the set when Francis Ford Coppola asked him to get to makeup. Acton refused to get out of the car. Williams got into the car and talked to him. Acton got out of the car and went to makeup and wasn't used for the day. A few years later, Acton revealed that what Williams said, "Hi Ryan, I'm your funny double, and if you don't want to get out of the car, it's okay." Ah,
Jesus.
I know. 9th of August 2026. It's the 10th anniversary of No Man's Sky. You familiar with that game, other guy?
Yeah, that's the one where they promised like an entire galaxy, but it's not you're not running on the same server, right? You can
Yeah,
meet
they
at the
said there'd
same
be
spot.
multiplayer, and
Oh
there
yeah,
wasn't.
yeah. What an insane lie to make.
They
It's
also said
multiplayer,
ridiculous
trust me.
things.
Just
Oh,
statistically.
you were saying, Professor?
They also said ridiculous things like we had to invent new elements to make the color of the sky on different planets change.
So funny. It's like every single new press conference, the promises got wilder and wilder. I remember that much.
Yeah, I understand it's quite enjoyable now,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, it's got the same thing with that other game, right? Where like they just kept at it, just kept developing it after the.
yeah, but I wouldn't trust a word that comes out of that guy's mouth on anything.
Okay. Would you trust Todd Howard or the guy that promoted No Man's Sky?
I think I trust Todd Howard more.
I trust the
Really?
guy from No Man's Sky. He'll be the devil's advocate. Todd Howard is washed. Hot take.
Aw. I don't know. I'm stuck because Todd was doing the whole like Fallout 76 like 16 times the detail, 16 times the map, and yeah, fuck that. That never happened.
Oh, so funny.
Oh, yeah. Sean Murray, the founder of Hello Games, wanted to create a game that captured the sense of exploration and optimism of science fiction literature and art of the 1970s and 80s. The game was developed over 3 years by a small team at Hello Games with promotional and publishing help from Sony Interactive. The game media saw this as an ambitious project for a small team, and Murray and Hello Games drew significant attention leading to its release. Initially received mixed reviews at the 2016 launch, with some critics praising the technical achievements of the procedural generated universe, while others considered the gameplay lackluster and repetitive. Murray later stated that Hello Games had failed to control hype around the game and the larger than expected player count at launch, and since then have taken an approach of remaining quiet about updates to the game until they are nearly ready to release. The promotion and marketing of No Man's Sky became a subject of debate and has been cited as an example of what to avoid in video game marketing.
Yeah.
The game's engine employs several deterministic algorithms, such as parameterized mathematical equations that can mimic a wide range of geometry and structure found in nature. Art elements created by human artists are used and altered as well. The game's audio included ambient sounds, and its underlying soundtrack also used procedural generation methods from bass samples created by audio designer Paul Weir and the British musical group 65 Days of Static. Later updates to the game brought community-based short-term goals and later expeditions, time-limited short goal-driven missions with special customized option completion. These were developed atop the Microsoft Azure cloud computing system rather than integrating these directly to the game client. This was done to prevent players from data mining the client to discover these before their release, but instead to push them out to the game through the cloud service at the right time. But it's a yeah, that whole game's a fascinating example of why it's so hard to find a good game these days. But anyways, Professor, what is our messed up moment in nerddom this time?
I'm gonna be honest, I entirely forgot.
This is that messed up moment.
God damn it, Professor! Why? Why? Look, why? You have to do this. Well, I was well. If you, I was going to go. Well, if you had forgotten something, I was gonna go with Transformers and how the Transformers movie and remember that 1990s Transformers movie, the animated one.
Oh yeah, one of the greatest movies of all time. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
I'm
yeah. And
intimately familiar with the with that movie.
yeah, and how today is the 40th anniversary of that movie, and how I think I would say the messed up moment was when Optimus died. The fir-
Spoilers.
oh, I thought you watched it.
No, I don't like Transformers.
Oh,
Really?
really?
That is a messed up moment.
So is it like the movies, the
No, I
TV
just don't
show?
like them.
Yeah,
I
Did
can
I
get
mean,
behind big robots beating each other up. I love Pacific Rim.
oh yeah.
But why do they have to turn into cars?
Oh,
They're alien robots. Why do they turn into human cars?
See that was because they had to when they crash land to Earth, and then they go, "Oh crap, we can't fight here. We have to meld into the surroundings."
they
Woohoo!
were.
So if they can turn into anything, why don't they?
Do what's got more utility than cars? Like, what do you turn into a mobile phone? I think they do that already, right?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
but each Transformer only has one form that they turn into.
Yeah, yeah, that is true.
yeah.
Aim that on the alls.
Like, how does Optimus Prime deal with low bridges?
True.
God damn.
That's why he. What was it? Didn't they used to transport him by dropping him off like a helicopter?
Yeah, yeah. That was for the the Revenge of the Fallen. It was the corpse, but yeah. But yeah.
I will say
Ah.
this though, the Michael Bay movies are a joke that got worse and worse over time.
Oh
One movie
yeah.
that unironically was really good was the Transformer 1 movie.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
That
I
was
can agree.
incredibly good.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, I would agree with you. The Michael Bay movies were weird. It made Shia LaBeouf famous. That's the I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, but yeah,
Yeah. Good old
yeah.
Shia.
But that was the one movie that had Leonard Nimoy play as Galvatron and Orson Welles as Unicron.
Yes, yes, yes.
Great,
Wrote about it in his memoirs where he died.
damn. Like this wasn't the first was this the first time Leonard Nimoy played as a villain, or was it anyways, on to our wacky movie. On the 8th of August 1965, Frankenstein Conquers the World, also known as Frankenstein versus Baragon, premiered in Japan. Uh, this was directed by the renowned Ishiro Honda from the story by Ruben Berkovich, Takaheki Kimura, John Meredith, Lucas, Shinichi Saizawa, Mary Shelley, and Jerry Soule. The film starred Nick Adams, Kumi Mizuno, Tadao Takashima, and others. And here's the plot summary. Near the end of World War II, Germans transport the immortal heart of Frankenstein's monster to Japan, where it is seemingly lost in the bombing of Hiroshima. Years later, a wild boy is found, born from the immortal heart. And yes, it's a kaiju movie of all things. uh, in the early 1960s, special effects technician Willis H. O'Brien uh, proposed the idea of a new King Kong film to be filmed in color. O'Brien wrote a story outlined titled King Kong versus Frankenstein and succeeded in obtaining permission from RKO Pictures attorney David O'Shea to use the King Kong character. O'Shea then introduced O'Brien to film producer John Beck to help secure funding, with a completed script by George Worthington Yates. Beck generated some interest in Hollywood but failed to secure funding and reached out to overseas. He struck a deal with Japanese studio Toho to produce King Kong vs. Prometheus. Toho was only interested in acquiring the King Kong character, and the project was redeveloped into King Kong vs. Godzilla.
Ooh.
So they were the first people that made that. The idea of Frankenstein versus Godzilla originated from UPA, with Jerry Scholl and Ruby Berkovich providing the initial concept. Both writers retained credit for the story, but it's unclear how many of the ideas were retained in the final film. A March 1965 draft replaced Godzilla with new kaiju Baragon, and the final draft from May 10, 1965 had Frankenstein acting much less of a monster, with the human characters fostering compassion for him. Honda criticized the decision by Toho and UPA to include a kaiju, calling it convenient, and originally wanted to explore the tragedy and the moral science behind Frankenstein itself.
Yeah.
It's so when filming, the special effects crew was unaware which tree would be uprooted. Therefore, every single miniature tree seen on set was built with miniature roots and individually planted one by one. Man, that must have been a painful task. As a fan of Frankenstein stories, this film is a personal favorite of Guillermo del Toro. He has made recommendations of this movie on social media and has cited Baragon as one of his all-time favorite kaiju. Frankenstein is not a kaiju, but a kaijin, a Japanese term used for human-like or supernatural beings. And this was the only kaiju film to explicitly show the bombing of Hiroshima.
Oh.
And funnily enough, this movie released a sequel called The War of the Gargantuans. Yeah, in this film, pieces of Frankenstein's cell mutated into two giant humanoid monsters, Sander, the brown gargantua, and Gyra, the green gargantua. The former is a benevolent, peace-loving creature, and the latter is murderous and savage. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's one hell of a movie. I wonder if they'll I wonder if they'll ever make it into. I wonder if Hollywood will do that, make a sequel now that Godzilla and Kong is done. Godzilla versus Kong is done. I would love to see that as a sequel. Frankenstein versus those two.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't know. I was I don't know. I don't think Frankenstein would actually work. Like, Godzilla was kind of made for the screens. Frankenstein was old school literature. The whole point of the book is to show, that it was Frankenstein's monster was not the true monster at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It was a mirror to ourselves. And then you go ahead and make a kaiju movie where the monster that was made not to be a monster is now a monster. I don't know if that'll fly.
Yeah, you're right. I'm just wondering how they're gonna make Frankenstein's monster a kaiju. That would be a
Yeah.
wild idea. Anyways, that's all we have for this week. Stay happy, stay nerdy. See you guys. Oh, I forgot before we head off. I'd like to say we've now hit 1,000 Instagram followers. Hooray!
Woo!
Yay! Also be we're also doing Twitch streams as well, and we'll be coming up with some bigger news in the next coming weeks. So keep yourselves glued to this podcast. So stay happy, stay nerdy. See you guys.
He is
We'll see you next week.